Zad, you're delivering that damn Europa League, bro, whether you like it or not. Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Kante is Chelsea's highest scoring midfielder. Yo man, what's up, it's your main man here, Double H man, have a drink. Chelsea up against Burnley, man. So just quick little post-match analysis review here. That Chelsea defense needs to work. That they need work. First goal was unavoidable. That second goal was a complete and utter mess. And I think Chelsea, they should have gotten that third goal. I think especially in the second half when Chelsea really turned up the screw, they controlled the game. And I believe there was a section where they always showed like a statistic of like last 5 minutes. And during a section of the game, last 5 minutes, Burnley had spent 0% of time in Chelsea's last third. So that just showed you just how much control that Chelsea had of the game and how little control that Burnley had. But at the end of the day, as much as I felt that Chelsea should have gotten that third and fourth because they had the possession and the positionings and the chances too, you've got to give credit to Burnley. I mean, Sean Dyche is a G. I've been saying that for years now. What he's doing with Burnley is flipping amazing. You know, there are guys and clubs with much bigger budgets, bigger profiles that are not doing as well as Sean Dyche. So Sean Dyche is 100% one of the best managers in the league. Based on what he has to work with, his management and his coaching is completely outstanding because this guy is really getting his players to play way above the call of duty. And I think, it was it. I think Burnley really made it tough for Chelsea, because once Burnley got that second goal, they equalized it made it really tough for them. But I think with Chelsea, man, I mean, both of those goals were amazing. Both of those goals were really amazing goals. Like when you look at the first goal, Zad, man, I know he has his haters, but he's not top 5, he's overrated, blah, blah, blah. But when you look at just the influence Zad has on this team, I mean, just look at the dribble, he put the guy on the floor, head up, wanted to find Kante, boom. And let me talk about Kante briefly. Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Kante is Chelsea's highest scoring midfielder. That shouldn't happen. That just shows how amazing Kante is. I told you, Kante will save us from the alien invasion because he can do everything. So if he can do everything, he will save us from an alien invasion. It's happening. But Kante cannot be allowed to do everything in this team. And again, it just amazed me how he has added a goal-scoring attribute into his game, because I don't think anybody saw that how he could be so effective in the final third, which is crazy. And look, Higuain's goal, quality goal. I'm not going to take anything away. That was a quality goal. Great play by Aspilicueta to find him. Superb finish up the post down. But I don't view things in a myopic sense. I don't view things in a narrow sense. It would be very narrow-minded of me to say, oh, look at what Higuain did there, therefore he should definitely be the top striker. I look at what do you consistently do? What is your consistent effectiveness in a game? And for me, Giroud is always the better option. For me, Giroud will always be the better option because I just think that he gives you more, he provides more, he's just a much better option than what Higuain brings, because Giroud, I feel he makes other players better. But I think the saddest thing in the game was obviously Callum Hudson-Odoi. He's out for months, so he won't even be in the England framework this summer for, I think, the Euro Nations League, and I think that is really, really painful, really annoying. It happens. I just hope that he just gets back stronger and better. But I think with regards for Chelsea, that's a huge miss from a footballing sense, because he just brings in a nice direct fluidity and he's very up to speed with what they're doing. So I think it's now down to Willian Edro, which again, I'm not a fan of Willian Edro, I'm sorry. Okay, so as I've said, I've already given my piece on Willian and Pedro. But I think Chelsea have to feel disappointed because again, this top 4 battle is tough, and the Europa League is tricky. that's a tricky proposition because Frankfurt are going to be tricky. And I think that if Chelsea get past Frankfurt, they're facing Valencia in the final, and that Valencia team look very strong. So the Europa League is not a dead set to win, even if I say Zad has to deliver the Europa. And I do believe somehow, someway, Zad could potentially do it, and I think it will cement his legacy as one of the greats in the game when he gets that flipping Europa. But it's going to be complicated. There was just, because the game was very open. It was very open, it was ended, but the opportunities were there. The chances were there. I think this was definitely one of Higuain's best games, even if I still think Giroud should be a starter. But it's just about you have to get it done. You've got to put that ball in the net, and you can't keep relying on Zad to be the guy who finishes. You can't keep relying on that because there's so many issues there. There's an issue where, okay, you scored great, but what about the other previous games that you haven't scored? Why is Kante the highest scoring midfielder? He's not supposed to be the highest scoring midfielder. That should fall to really a Ross Barkley or a Loftus-Cheek. But I'm not even going to have beef with Loftus-Cheek. It's really falls to a Barkley. Jorginho, what up? So that's the thing. But I just think for Chelsea at home, at the Bridge, knowing what United's results was, knowing what Arsenal's results was, it was the perfect opportunity for them to really put themselves in a great position because Tottenham lost, Arsenal lost, and United lost. So, again, which is what I've already said, I've given up saying who's going to finish top 4. I believe this is going to be decided on the last day of the season because, again, this has just been left far too open. But still, to Burnley, amazing. You have to give this credit as credit because I am such a fan of managers who do really well with small, meager teams. Huge fan of that. And I think what he's been able to do with Burnley should have been relegated seasons ago. Fact that and even people thought that this would be the season that they would get relegated. These guys were, I think when they're in the Europa League, Sean Dyche needs 1000%. When they do like Manager of the Year awards, he has to be in the shortlist. Maybe he won't win, but 1000% he has to be in the shortlist because he's in management. Because Burnley play economical, effective football. Because again, it can't be fully expressed because they don't have the quality of the players. But they're also not a boring team. They're not a defensive team. They play very effective, economical football, which is what I like. Because he just gets the best of the players he has to his disposal. So for Chelsea, man, look, man. You have to focus on two fronts. Yes, try and win the Europa League. Zad, you're delivering that damn Europa League, bro. Whether you like it or not. But for this top 4, Chelsea just have to win the rest of the games. Because again, I think United, Arsenal, and Tottenham will keep slipping. So for Chelsea, they just have to win the rest of their games. It has to happen. But I like this lineup. But what I will say is, Higuain is done. He's finished. That goal doesn't change anything. Start Giroud. He makes Hazard better. He makes the team better. He's a great presence. And Giroud is very useful to making the team far more effective in the final flipping third. Thanks for watching the video. Now think about becoming a Football Hot patron by pledging an amount each month and then gain access to exclusive content only on the Football Hot Patron page. Peace. Head over to the official site at halffootballhot.com or just click over here.